I don't know, dude. I don't know how we got here. HATelyn, we need you back.
Whatever, dude. It's a fucking punk rock podcast. We're going to talk about this shit. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Share the Backline, the podcast where two washed-up local musicians wax poetic about gripes, triumphs, and the mundane. I'm your host, O'Brien.
And Beardley.
Chocolate rain. we have the fan going because it's super hot. Well, it's 10 degrees cooler up here, always. But if it's 100 down there, it's 90 up here. So we got the fan going, so we turn down the mics. But I have to talk right into it.
He's basically deep-throating the mic.
Yeah. So I don't want to get all my heavy breathing on the recording. So I'm going to be doing some fucking... What's that guy's name? Zende?
Tay.
Chocolate rain. So this
I'm gonna put under the subtitle. I look away from the mic to take a breath in.
Oh yeah, he's like explaining himself.
Yeah.
This is officially the Chocolate Rain episode.
No, it's not.
Episode 34, Chocolate Rain. Let me write that down.
I don't want to get sued.
Oh shit, you're right.
I
mean, my rendition was dead on, so we might have mercy on us, Taser.
It was like watching the YouTube video for the first time.
My God. Throwback. TBT. Throwback Tuesday. We're recording this on... Oh, I'm bearing the lead here. We're doing this old school because HATelyn couldn't make it. We had fucking a difficult time because we were going to do Friday. I forget what happened Friday. We ended... Chocolate rain. We ended up... I got to stop doing that. Sorry, we're getting annoying everybody. And everybody's going to have that song stuck in their head. We tried to do Friday. It didn't work out. And then we tried to do Sunday after you guys went to the Whittier Flea, which we'll get into. I don't even know if that's what it was called, but the Whittier Flea Market.
I think it's like Uptown Flea or some shit like that.
Uptown Flea.
Uptown Flea you up. Uptown Flea you up.
Dude, there's a difference between our references and my like 50 years old. Between 50 and 20 years old. None current. But we tried to do Sunday. That didn't work out. And then we were going to do yesterday, which was Monday. And then HATelyn got sick. And then on the weekend I got sick. So we're doing this old school. She couldn't come in. We were going to do Wednesday, but fuck, this is boring. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, we're doing this on Tuesday. Sans HATelyn. She has work today. So Beardley is running the show right now. He's playing the guitar here. How does it feel to be back in the manning the ship?
It feels kind of nice. I do like miss having all the stuff in front of me. But at the same time, I miss not having all the stuff in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, when I don't have it in front of me, it's that old, like, Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands. Mm-hmm. That's why my side of the table is all doodled up.
So that's the secret to not touching your mic? It's just doodling?
Yeah, I told you that. Like, just fucking start drawing on the table.
Yeah.
And then you're not touching your mic the entire time.
Sorry, I gotta focus on writing the show. Look at my notes. Show us your notes. Show us your notes. Pull it up to the camera. 2 blank sheets. This is good radio. If you guys are listening, go to you. If you're doing the audio only, you can also go to youtube.com/@sharethebackline to watch the video, and it would make a lot more sense with the shit we talk about. I tried to keep it as kosher for the audio listeners as much as possible. But
yeah, I get it. But at the same time, we invested so much money to make this a video podcast.
Yeah, I remember when you were telling me about when it first started, you're talking about the views and stuff, and it's like, well, what are audio numbers? And you're like, I don't know. I don't spend time editing the audio. I spend time editing the video. It's like touche. So you've only focused on the video listens. But we do appreciate the people listening just, in their car. Because I would never think, because you need YouTube Premium to listen to something in audio of something and be able to lock your phone or exit the app and use your navigation or whatever. And that's pretty annoying to have to pay for that, because they can do it because the premium subscribers can do it.
Yeah.
So if you're just listening, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We see you. We see the numbers. Thank you. It's funny. For some reason, like, numbers have been coming up a lot more for me from other people. Like, oh, what are your numbers like? What are your numbers like? It's like, I don't know. Try not, like, we both see the YouTube numbers. I don't pay. I'll get a weekly like update on the podcast, like just audio. But we talked about this before we even started. We're gonna give it like a year, just kind of become podcasters, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we'll really start focusing on the numbers. Honestly, like, looking back, I think we're doing pretty good for a brand new podcast. And that's because of you guys. We just want to do better for you guys. So we haven't done like an appreciation pod in a while.
We appreciate you. This is officially the appreciation. Scratch the chocolate, right? This is an appreciation podcast. Yeah, I definitely agree. It kind of helps that I don't know if it helps or not, but that we were in bands as hungry, like starving musicians, trying to build something the same way and just doing the things we wanted to do. I mean, sure, there was like some fan service and stuff, but it was mostly just sitting in a room in a vacuum, trying to create songs that we liked, we enjoyed, we were happy with, all together cohesively, and kind of just focus on that and hoping that the rest would follow and rock stardom. I mean, that's why I'm like, I don't know if it's good or not to have that kind of mentality, but I think it's just, you just got to do that. And if it hits, it hits. If not, you're still doing something that you love and something that you like and appreciate. And hopefully there are other people who like and appreciate it as much as you do. And that's the fucking buzz. And no matter how many people there are, as long as there's one, that's the shit. That's the shit I can mainline. Fucking snort with ketchup. Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Fucking old school. Your phone whose phone's on their app? It's a call coming in. Having you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. No, but just want to say happy 4th of July. Well, it's already passed. So hope you had a good 4th of July. I hope you still have all your fingers.
All your fingies and your toes and eyes. Although an eye patch would be pretty sick. Just come up with a different story. We're talking about going old school. Don't do that, kids. Just start giving really bad advice. See how long you can hold an M80 before you throw it.
Please don't.
It's all about the thrill, baby.
Jesus.
This country is founded on thrills.
And that's episode 34, our last podcast, because we're going to get canceled for...
That was like a really roundabout way to say HATElyn's sick and couldn't be here today. I had to say that. So we're going old school.
I know we spent like 10 minutes just airing out all our excuses that we had to not do a podcast.
That's the word. It's like, you know what fucking always irks me? The first time I realized it was, okay, what irks me is when bands are going to play something new and they're explaining themselves like, oh, we wrote this last week and it only took a couple minutes and I don't know if it's that good. And, they're just like fucking airing out all this shit, like their insecurities. The first time I noticed it was I think it was the first time that Metallica played Fuel live. And I was watching it and James was like doing that. He's like, yeah, so we're going to try this new song. I don't know if you. I'm like, God damn it! Just play the, just play the fucker. Come on. So that was us doing that. And thanks for the coffee, dude.
Yeah, no problem.
You fucking went all out and brought Dutch Brothers. Dutch Brothers, what's up? Look, I'll drink it like this, dude. Oh, it's so delicious.
I gotta fix my cap on.
Thou shalt not cap. Make that a clip. We'll tag them and hopefully get one of those jackets.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, I want one of those. I want to get a job with Dutch Brothers. Just get one of those jackets.
Just for the gear, dude. They have fucking sick gear. Bastards.
I don't have time for another job, dude. There was a point where I'm like, I want to get a second job.
You were gonna work at Guitar Center on the weekends so you can have the discount again.
Discounts, baby.
Dude, your wife would have killed you because you would have gotten hired.
I would have gotten hired. Said it before on here. I used to work at Guitar Center. I don't know if I can still sell stuff. One, there's so much new gear. I was a wee lad when I was working at Guitar Center, so I didn't have. It was just me and my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time. Just hanging out, probably going out to eat, watching movies. No real responsibilities, no kids, no mortgage, no car payments. But I think she had a car payment at the time. I don't remember. But I had so much extra time to just keep up on gear that was coming out. And then I wanted that new gear, so I was buying new gear, kind of like now. But I was able to sell because I knew the shit. Now I don't know, there's so much new stuff and I don't have the time to research all that stuff.
But you would have time. All the downtime you get to dude, we've walked in guitar. I don't know how Guitar Center is still in business. We've gone to so many Guitar Centers and all of them are just fucking dead. We're the only ones in there. And they don't even hound us when we go in there. Well, usually I my dress yellows on, my work gear, and people just leave us alone. And I'm like, how are you guys surviving? Individually, because you work on commission, right?
Yeah,
was it not?
But they changed it. So it used to be individually you could make commission, but I think from what somebody told me, now it's as a store, so you need the whole store to do well in order to make a commission, which kind of sucks because I used to kill it and always make for 6 months straight I made a commission and then I got fired.
Oh, okay, so it's just a blanket sense of dread. No,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's they just all either fucking are gung-ho or they're all just whatever, we'll just make our hourly.
I think that's why we're not getting hounded as much, because they don't need to sell something. They have so many other things like pops. Dude, pops are the price tags. We used to get stacks of them every day. It's oh, you got to change these because prices are always changing and stuff. And, especially maybe this past week, they're getting ready for 4th of July sales and shit. And, there's always a sale going on. But they don't have to sell like they did. They don't have to be car salesmen, basically.
Yeah.
Cars salesmen, they make all their money by selling cars. You don't sell a car, you don't make money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad we're not doing Bean Boozled, dude.
Oh yeah, that too. We're gonna, since Beardley has so much on his hands, literally. Yeah, we're widowy. Shout out to HATElyn. We miss you. The other thing is, like, we don't have like, she's kind of like our laugh track now.
Yeah.
She'll be back there giggling. Now it's like going old school. It's like my main focus when we started the pod was to make you laugh. So, like, not even it goes back into like forming the songs in a vacuum, like in a room by yourselves. It's like, forget about the audience. Like, if I can make you laugh, somebody out there is going to laugh. So that was always my main focus. So now that's what I'm listening for. But it's that whole Happy 4th of July, everybody. I was just gonna shit on America. That whole concept of, because there were like this fucking lady, dude. We had when I worked at the bakery, we put up a Black Lives Matter thing on the window, and she walks up and she was fucking gonzo, dude, like nuts. And she was walking up to buy something. She was like, "That's socialism," and I couldn't hear her. I was like, "What?" She's like, "That's socialism," and then I was like, "Oh, is it really?" And then, I was just like fucking humoring her, and she started talking shit. And then I noticed she had it was like a flowery, like hippy dippy Trump sweater. Not to get political here, but so I was like, "Oh my god, this is besides the point." She fucking stunk. Like, it was pretty raunchy, but she had like fucking nice car. She was like, it was in Culver City, so everybody there's loaded. And so she was talking shit, and then we had a tip jar right there. I didn't make any tips because I was management, so I would just, we would give it to the people, and then she give it to the people. See, but that was the joke. She put a tip in there. She's like, that's not going to happen with socialism. I was like, yeah, because everybody would get paid a living wage and we wouldn't need to depend on tips. And she's like, oh yeah, real funny. And then she called me, what did she call me? I think she called me a Marxist or something. And then I was like, well, thanks for the tip. I'll distribute it evenly amongst the workers. And she just fucking got in her car and like she got in her fucking like Bentley or whatever, fucking sped off. I was like, holy shit, that was pretty fun. So that was a good time. But yeah, like, it's that whole just fucking pay everybody a living wage and then you won't get fucking hounded. The place I thought we were going to get hounded was Guitar Center Hollywood. We went to the Guitar Center in Hollywood. That was my first time going back in years, and it is unrecognizable. If you guys remember the Guitar Center in Hollywood, so it has the handprint thing, the Walk of Fame or whatever. And it has all the guitars that are, on the outside. They have a back entrance now, which they didn't before. That was like employees only. If you remember it, you're like walking in, and then there was a staircase going upstairs to the left, and that went to that big ass drum room. And then they had a fucking giant wall of guitars. That's all gone. It's like 6 different compartments now.
Yeah. They still have an upstairs, but that's for like lessons and stuff. So but you have to like go to the right and then go up. And do we just go to Guitar Center to collect picks? Well, I do. I'm like building an infinity gauntlet of Guitar Center picks. Because we usually go on our lunch break, whether it's like driving back to the shop, like because we're both trying to like lose weight, I guess. Now, I haven't had a regular soda in like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, congratulations. Where's the clap?
I have no idea.
Oh, you got it.
First try.
I'm just kidding.
And then, like I'm not eating past 8:00 or 7:30. I try at 7:30, but sometimes it like we have dinner late, so it's been rough. But going back to Guitar Center, like we'll walk in, check out stuff, and like I go to look for the used gear because I am like slowly building up my rig again for the pod band. And like you said you just try to make me laugh, like going old school, dude. I'm trying to write music and I am completely stumped. And there's a bunch of reasons. One, I don't know what direction we're going to go. 2, I suck again. Like, I don't know if I was ever good at guitar, but I can't fucking play to save my life, it feels like. 3, my hands start to hurt because I'm getting back into it. And it's it's a lot, man.
Did that burp come through the mic? It is like it's so hot. Like the mic's so hot, like a burp bubbled down. I was like, it probably got caught on hot mic. Yeah, it's anything. It's as far as writing goes, you get writer's block, but then the way out of it. Take notes, people. Here's a life hack. The way out of it is just to keep fucking, like if you're writing something like literature or poetry or whatever, just keep fucking writing whatever bullshit comes to your mind. And you keep doing that, and it fucking wires your brain. So just keep writing shitty riffs. There was one you sent, and I didn't want to say, you sent it to the group chat with the Walking Blind boys.
You're saying I write shitty riffs, dude?
No, I'm saying that that one was good, but it was basically a different song. So I was like, why does this sound so familiar? And I found it and I sent it to you. I didn't send it to the group. And you're like, just like, fuck. And I was like, am I the only one hearing this? Or I don't know if he'll hear it too. And I sent it to you. And then you must have heard it.
I heard it. It was still different.
No, obviously.
But because I wasn't really a huge Finch fan anyway. So it's not like I pulled influence from that. It was a Finch song that he sent me. But it sounds nothing like it.
It's all subliminal, baby. It all just fucking, it's insane to think about. And I'm sure this is a fucking hack premise too. A fucking hot take, if you will, that there's been so much music throughout time. When we talked about I don't know if we were on, when I was on the Walking Blind podcast, I don't know if we were recording when we were talking about it, but that Ed Sheeran like lawsuit, and he came in and he fucking played like a billion songs that have that same chord progression. And it's like, what else can be done? And the answer is AI music. we'll just let AI, you reckon? AI, do something original with music and see what it comes up with.
Yeah, chances are it's already been done. I mean, think about how old music is. You know, dating back to, I don't fuck know. I'm not a music historian, just a local music historian somewhat. But yeah, it's been done before. By the way, O'Brien was on the Walking Blind podcast. Go check out the Walking Blind. Shout out to those boys.
Yeah, it's a nice volume on the shout out there. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was. Yeah, he sent me the text. You're getting called up to the big leagues. I got called up to the show, dude. Fucking. It was. We went after work, and then so we worked all day, and then we had some bakers right before. I just wanted to make sure I was as greasy as possible when I was on their podcast. Again, hair was greasy. Fucking beard was probably greasy. Had some tater tots. But it was a lot of fun. I felt fucking nervous, dude, at first. You were there. You're my fucking emotional support animal. It was a lot of fun at first. I was like, am I talking too much? What am I doing? Because it's so crazy. Like, the people must feel the same way doing our podcast. Because it was like, because I was sitting in between them. My mic's right here. So I had to keep like turning, but also making, because it sounded like this, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I don't know which I didn't want my voice to do that, what I just did right now. So it was a little weird, and I would forget that Mike was over here because I was talking to Mike over here, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's over here. And but it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun before and after we went out to eat and stuff, and they just kept chatting it up.
Yeah, I had just started like my diet, so I'm like, if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat. I ended up having like a shake.
Yeah, that whole day, like shit, dude. Because we had bakers, and then after the pod, we went and had an In-N-Out and had like a grilled cheese, and then I got home and ate pizza. I was like, God damn, I'm a fucking animal today.
But definitely go check that out. You did a really good job, dude. I'm super proud of you.
Thanks, dude.
It was a fun podcast. I was there, like just like you said, but I didn't really, I wasn't on the pod per se. I like interjected a few times, but yeah, you did a really good job.
Thanks, man.
I do want to talk real quick. Go back to what you were saying about like the tips thing. Did you hear what the creators of South Park did?
No.
I guess I forgot the name of the restaurant, but they own a restaurant in Colorado, and they completely abolished tipping. Like they took away tipping, and they said the reason why they're doing that is because they're paying their employees $30+ an hour.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Tipping was like a loophole that companies found to pay their employees less and put the cost on. You put the onus of paying their employees on the customers, and that's why I made that joke to that lady, like, oh, with socialism, this will end, no more tipping. I'm like, yeah, because everyone's gonna get fucking paid a living wage, and they won't have to depend on the kindness of strangers. So that's fucking good for them. I know the like clickbaity headlines will be like, no tipping allowed at fucking South Park creators restaurant or whatever. It's like, yeah, there shouldn't be tipping. It's a fucking American capitalist idea.
You know what really grinds my gears? It's not that now everybody's asking for tipping. It's what really, like, can I park you for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
I get it. Going to a small mom and pop shop. There's a small shop that we go to by the shop where we work. Probably like once or twice a week, maybe. And they charge a service fee for using debit card. I get that. But places like the gas station charging a service fee. It's like, we're giving you money, and then you're going to take more money because you get charged a percentage to use your credit card, or for us to use a card instead of paying you cash.
Yeah.
Why? Like, fucking, that's the cost of doing business. If you want me to keep coming back, either provide something that I absolutely need, or I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Do better, Arco. Fucking 35-cent charge for everything. What fucking grinds my gears about that is like I'll put in gas and it's like 35 cents or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And the gas is kind of cheaper. So if I fill up, it's kind of worth it. But then I'll go inside and get like a fucking drink or something. And then I pay 35 cents again. I'm like, fuck, I need to remember to go inside and then put the gas and then buy my whatever. And then just pay the 35 cents once. But whatever.
Fuck service fees, dude.
Yeah, service fees they're pretty. Did you see that thing? Joe Biden's trying to get rid of overdraft fees, and he fucking called out bank CEO or bank president or something who owns a yacht, and the yacht's name is Overdraft. Dude, when I was a kid, I must have put somebody's kid in college through college. The fucking amount of times I overdrafted.
Dude, for the longest, I owed, do you remember Washington Mutual?
WAMU?
The WAMU way?
It's Chase now, right? It was something before Washington Mutual. I can't remember that far back. Like, Washington Mutual was the thing like, oh, do you remember, what it was before? Like, oh, well, that's old school. And now it's like, do you remember WAMU?
Do you remember Singular Wireless?
Damn. Yeah, because when I worked at AT&T, it was right after so there was still like boxes of Singular shit, and some of my friends there were originally Singular or AT&T, because there was an AT&T wireless and a Singular wireless, and then AT&T just bought them up and then made their own thing. So there was both like old AT&T people and old Singular people. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I owed WAMU a bunch of money. I owed Wells Fargo a bunch of money apparently for. I remember I bought a camera, and we were going to Hawaii, and I bought a camera to take to Hawaii, and this was back in 2008, 2009. Yeah. So like those little point and shoots with the screen in the back were still stupid expensive, like $400 or some shit. Like
little MySpace cameras.
yeah. So I bought one and I had like 360 in my bank. I wasn't making a ton of money. So I bought one, but the camera came out to like $450 or something. And I was getting paid like the week after or something like that. I'm like, oh, it'll go through. So I did it and I got fucking reamed with overdraft fees. I had to pay like $400 in overdraft fees.
Yeah, it was the worst because then that was like when you realized things didn't come out of your account immediately. So you get one overdraft fee and then all the shit you used your card for that week starts coming out and it's $35 every time. You're like, stop charging. Like, oh my God. And then by the end of it, like your fucking paycheck comes in and then it's just all gone.
Yeah, that was the worst. And then when I was working at Guitar Center, they used Wells Fargo, and there was a Wells Fargo like branch inside the market that was right next door to us. So they would have like send over reps trying to sign up people for Wells Fargo. And they did this thing, like if you had direct deposit, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like paycheck advance or something, where you could borrow like up to $200 from your check. So it's like a credit line where you can borrow $200, and then when your check comes in, they take it out.
Yeah.
So I was doing that a lot, and I got so much trouble. Like because I would borrow money for gas or food or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, I get paid whatever Friday. Check would come in. Let's say it was like $400, and then it's down to $200. I'm like, fuck. So I gotta. It just puts you in like a vicious cycle, and it's just
Yeah.
So I guess I had money. I had borrowed money, and then I got fired. So instead of it being a direct deposit check, they just cut me a check. I totally forgot about it because it was like Christmas time too. So I spent like my check and bought gifts and stuff. It used to be where it's a $35 fee, and then I think every day after like a certain amount of days, they charge you again. It ended up being like $1,100.
God damn.
For like a $20 overdraft.
That's end stage capitalism for you guys. I don't know how a president, how a Biden can fucking pull that off, because the fucking banks are just let's get into it. The whole fucking student loan forgiveness thing, the fucking bootlicking going on from people that are like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna pay your fucking student loan. I paid mine, like fucking pay it yourself or whatever.
Like, I wrote that down because I wanted to talk about that real quick too. It goes back to what you were talking about earlier with the socialism and all that stuff. And
damn, we're fucking being leftist on this 4th of July.
Freedom, baby.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. First Amendment.
This is America, brother. But,
wait, is the First Amendment freedom of speech?
Yeah, sure. But it's, yeah, see, we're not talking about this. We're freedom fighters. YouTube have mercy on us. But that whole, like, they're fucking okay with corporate bailouts, fucking bank bailouts, individual millionaires and billionaires getting their fucking debt wiped and stuff. But some fucking starving students, they're like, nah, fuck you. Like, come on, dude. They fucking duped in like a swath of people to just be okay with getting shit on. And they fucking, people fall for it.
Yeah, I saw this thing on Facebook. I'm not going to say who posted it. I'll just say it was a family member. And, Facebook started doing this thing where, like, if your GPS says you're next to like a crisis, like it's unfortunate, like the school shootings or like the mass shootings or hurricanes, whatever, disaster. You can mark yourself safe so people can know that you're safe.
Mhm.
Well, there's one. Somebody just made it. It's like, oh, I'm marked safe from paying other people's student loans. And usually, I'll find that stuff funny, but at the same time, like it really upset me because it pissed me off because somebody posted, the person that posted is like, are you trying to get clicks or what? But I know that's probably not what they believe, and this person is older, so it's like that, I don't know, boomer mentality almost. Where like, I paid my way. It's like, yeah, but your fucking student loans weren't $200K for a semester somewhere, or $50,000 for a trade school, or I think that's what it is, like 55,000 for UTI. That's what it was.
Mhm.
And gas wasn't $5 a gallon. Rent wasn't 2,300 for a 2-bedroom or something. It's just it was a different time, and that's I don't know. I think that's why I got set off on that.
Yeah, I like the whole mentality of like millennials are spoiled and shit. It's like we've been fucking shit on like pretty fucking hard compared to previous. I mean, sure, everybody's had to work hard, but things were, you can see end goals and you can make goals. And I mean, I was very fortunate to be able to purchase not one but two homes. I mean, I don't own two homes, but I was able to purchase one and then sell it and make my way up here. And not a lot of people. Not a lot of people. I don't even know how to do that. I don't know. I just like, help me out, and fucking I just like sign paperwork, and people helped me along, and I was able to do that. But it was definitely a lot easier in previous generations. But there's also like, they're useful people. Like if I'm talking about like debt, like the student loan debt relief. You're not talking about bailing out like people with no skills and no education and no knowledge or anything. And not to say that's bad. It's just, these are people that can change things. Except for philosophy majors. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, think about how many people are working out of their field only because they needed a job to pay back the student loans. Because student loans, you can't, if you file for bankruptcy, they still apply. Mm-hmm. You can't, like, student loans will never fall off. You'll always owe. And imagine the people that did get that relief, and it's like, okay, now I can focus in my field, and let's say it's insane.
Because it sucks. Even with the degrees and stuff, a lot of these fields still require being not, what do you call that? Like interns or apprenticeships and things like that. And you still need, it's again fucking end stage capitalism. It's like nothing. The system fucking does not work. So you're paying. You pay $200,000 for an education, and then you go and you're fucking making peanuts for the first 10 years. And you're like, all the money you make is going, or don't make, you have to have a second job to be able to pay off the school. So or a lot of times you just end up working at a place for so long that you're making more there than you would if you went into your field. And you're not going to quit that job so you can go make less and not be able to pay off your, it fucking just doesn't work. And we're talking about the whole idea of universal healthcare. And that also, it's just a chain reaction because doctors paid, like fucking $500,000 to go to school. And so they need to make a certain amount of money to kind of make some money as doctors. That's why a lot of people from other countries come to practice medicine in the States, because they don't have that. They don't have the student loans.
Yeah.
Student loan payments. They got their schooling somewhere where it was free or subsidized, and then they come over here and they make as much as the guy that's having to pay like fucking $10K a month to pay back their student loans.
Isn't there like a lot of like prestigious medical schools? They're only prestigious because they produce really good doctors in like Mexico and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and where my family's from, I know there's a couple in Guadalajara. Shout out to one of those. That's my mom. My mom went to she did nursing school in Guadalajara, I think, before she came over, and then continued to go to school here, and became an RN.
It just drives me crazy, dude. And people still say like, oh well, because I was reading the comments too. It's like, yeah, I paid my way through college while I was in college. It's like, yeah, well, fucking milk wasn't $4 a gallon.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably got help. People aren't able to get help. Like for me, I didn't go to college right away because I couldn't get any financial aid. I was living with my mom, who didn't really work, but they still wanted to pull from my dad's, like all this stuff, and like he might have made too much, and I didn't get approved for financial aid, basically. So I'm like, I'm not gonna take out loans at 17 to go to school and not know what I want to do, and then have to pay back these loans. And then I got a credit card and fuck my credit up anyways. But it's just different times. 20, 30 years ago, people are still almost making that same amount of money at like, McDonald's or Starbucks. And they can't afford to pay their way through. Back then you could. I don't know.
Yeah, because gas was fucking 80 cents a gallon.
Dude, it's crazy how for us in California, $4, it happened last night. We went to Target. We took me, my wife, and all the kids. And my wife was driving, and she's like, oh, look, gas is $4.23 right here. It's super cheap. And just thinking about that fucking blew my mind. Like, how normal it is for us to see $4.29 and be like, oh, that's cheap.
Yeah. There's another thing, dude.
Sorry, we're getting all political on this podcast. It's fucking 4th of July. We're feeling the freedom and just griping like crazy.
Hey, we're free to fucking gripe, baby. Let's thank the boys for fighting for our freedoms to gripe.
1776, baby.
But I heard something that was like talking about inflation, that like, like the cost of gas, the cost of shipping, the cost of labor, and the cost of materials. Like, whoa, back up. The cost of labor? Because I don't think that cost has gone up. You know what I mean? Like, where are all these fucking extra costs coming from? Like, we're not getting paid anymore because of inflation. Like, the cost of labor stayed the same, but they're just charging more for all the goods. Seize the means of production, people.
Dude, it happened today. You text me because you're tired of your blue sweats that you can see right here if you're watching.
Yeah, check out these blue sweats. Oh, well, we'll go over my Fitlet.
You're like, hey, what were those pants that you recommended? They were just like regular Champion, like joggers, almost like a t-shirt pant. I paid $15 for those. They're $28 now. Mm-hmm. It's like, this was November last year.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, but I am so fucking cheap with myself. And we went to Micro Center and they had a Nintendo. It was like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Genesis, an emulator for retro gaming. And it was like $60 or something. I was like, would I spend $60 on myself? And the answer was invariably no, because we fucking left and I didn't buy it. And you always tell me like, dude, you gotta fucking buy something for yourself. Like all my shit's fucking old. Like you're like, oh, did you buy a new Bluetooth speaker? Because I have to have it plugged in because the battery will hold a charge. I am fucking so cheap with myself. But I have a pair of joggers, dude, where like I don't know how, but like the butt tore, not the butt, but like right under the butt, and it's just like slit almost completely through. So I mean, if I step outside, I get a nice little brace, but I have to make sure I'm like wearing shorts or something under them. And I was like, all right, I was wearing those this morning when I went down to work out, and I was like, all right, I'll bite the bullet and I'll buy myself something. And then fucking the price is more than double. And I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have waited so long.
Yeah, dude, you need a little bit of retail therapy.
But then you showed up with one for me. It looks like a little, like a miniature Nintendo. Oh, I got it right.
Yeah, I bought this. My cousin told me about Temu.
Oh, pull it out of the box. Look, it's a fucking mini Nintendo system. Look how fucking small the controller is. This is good radio.
Yeah, Temu, dude. I guess that's the new Wish. And like that thing was like $5 or some shit.
Fuck, really?
I tried it out and it's pretty cool, but I'm like, I'm not gonna use it. I know you'll go into your retro funk and play like Super Mario Brothers or.
Yeah, I go into my time machine, aka my bedroom, and listen to records and watch VHS.
He's gonna put on a record, throw on an ASMR video on his phone, and then play Super Nintendo on the TV.
Asleep in 2 seconds. Record time. No, but thank you for that. Yeah. Because I told you I have one in my room, but I can't find any of the cables, and I know they're in there somewhere, but I don't have. It's not like I have a mess in there, so I don't know what happened to the cables. Fucking dog took them or something.
Dude, so going back to like the whole old mentality. I'm probably going to cut this off right away, but we need to do something about people in office right now, dude.
In what?
In office.
Like, oh. I thought you said in the office. I was like, that's you. And me. That's the only people in the office.
No, like, because, I don't follow politics at all. But I saw a video on YouTube today. It's like Janet Yellen is taking a trip to China to try to... I guess they want to take a lot of manufacturing out of China because it's getting expensive. I guess a lot of stuff's going to like Vietnam or the Philippines. I think I forget what, but dude, she's like 90. I don't know how she's gonna make the fucking plane flight over there. And then you look at it, it's like everybody is above retirement age in office. If I feel like. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like to officially announce my candidacy for president, Beardly 2024, for the people. I'm just kidding. I don't know the first thing. I mean, I do, but
yeah, neither do they. It's fine. Yeah, it is weird. It's just a fucking. Did we do this subconsciously? Start going into political shit because it's the 4th of July. I watched Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise. It was not like 2 weeks ago. I didn't even realize how close we were to the 4th of July. It was just on. I was like, oh, boy, that's a pretty sick movie. So I just threw it on and watched it all the way through.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we did it. Like, I had this idea earlier because I watched the video this morning. I woke up at like 5:30. and I was just like watching YouTube videos, having my little cup of coffee in my Rad Dad cup, and like I saw him, like fuck, she's a lot older than. Like, she could probably be my grandma's age, you know? She can be my grandmother almost. It's like, what is she doing representing the United States? Like, and then...
Ageist.
Yeah, probably. But it's funny because, like, it goes both ways. Everybody's giving shit to Joe Biden about wearing, like, hospital non-slip socks or some shit like that to a graduation. Did you see that?
No. I did see something about him using a sleep apnea mask.
Yeah, CPAP, like, dude. Yeah, fucking dude wants to breathe at night.
Like, even kids have sleep app. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why is that such a big fucking deal?
I don't know, dude. Politics are so stupid. So that's why I like to...
Yeah, going back to, like, them being fucking...
Will you be my vice president?
I'll be your vice. I just got a point in this. The whole idea behind that, not behind that, but the hope was like no effects. I mean, the song was about like record industry executives and stuff, but dinosaurs will die. And like as a kid, as a young punk rock kid, there was just like, dude, they're all gonna die soon. Like, they're all fucking horrible, super unhealthy, like fucking old white men with heart disease and stuff. They're gonna die off. There'll be a new generation. But these fucking mummies are living forever. What the fuck? I was saying that 20 years ago.
What's crazy is, and I don't mean it. I want to say it, but I don't mean it as like in a sexual sense. But they're grooming these younger people to be exactly like them. Like,
yeah.
Once they take over. So I don't know. I don't know if things are going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, it is weird where you're like, okay, I have hope for the future, the younger generation and stuff. But then you see, yeah, a lot of them are, and it's always like if you grew up, if your parents were conservative, you're conservative. If your parents were liberal, you're liberal or whatever. It doesn't always work out that way. But I was kind of glad that my parents didn't have a direction either way. They were just, they cared about where they were, and that was the middle class. So they like voted for Clinton and stuff like that. Dude, fucking, I don't know if I was a kid like all starry-eyed and shit, but when Clinton was in office, that was the shit, dude. Like everything was fucking cheap. Everyone was getting along. There were like fucking secret Contra wars and shit, but yeah. You know, it's like we didn't know anything about that because there wasn't that. We only relied on like the evening news. But I remember shit being pretty cool back then, and it just got more and more divisive after that. But yeah, it's like not being groomed, like, you know, for one political party or the other. It just turned out to be fucking punk kid leftist.
Yeah, and who cares that Bill Clinton took 26 plane flights to a certain island?
Allegedly.
I don't know, dude. I don't know how we got here. HATElyn, we need you back.
Whatever, dude. It's a fucking punk rock podcast. We're going to talk about this shit. Speaking of punk rock podcast, dude, check out this fucking shirt. If you can see it. Look at that Circle Jerk Cantinflas fucking mashup right there. If you guys want, shout out to fucking Eric.
Friend of the pod. Eric
Valdez from No Snappers, SGV. And you can find these on his new thing. It's Grosero Industries. So if you want to find him on Instagram, it's Grosero, GROSERO.IND. You can buy it. He has the
Ramones.
A Ramones one. He also has that Good Grief Minor Threat Peanuts Gang mashup.
It's like every other episode he's wearing that shirt, so
yeah, you guys have seen it. Famously from this podcast. You just call that the Share the Backline shirt.
No, what's really cool about these shirts is he's there's an app that you could download, and it's like augmented reality, right? And
Yeah, he gave me a print of that Peanuts Gang Minor Threat thing, and it was it like plays a song and it's animated. It's fucking sick.
it's really fun. The Ramones one is really cool, where it goes through each person and gives a little bio and stuff. That one's fucking sick. Good shit, Eric.
I think I have the app.
Yeah, you do. He made you download it at Punks and Junk.
Okay. Fucking editor's notes. Pause it here for a second. I'm gonna try to do it and put it on the TV.
Yeah, we're back. So O'Brien was able to figure it out. Here, check it out.
Look at that fucking skank and cantinflas.
Dude, it's pretty sick. There's music that goes along with it. We can't play the music obviously, but
Dude, that is so fucking cool.
and this is just a little sample because we're going old school, so we can't like put it on the computer and stuff and do it. So it's cut off because there should be like 2 more on top of these 4, right? I think it's like 3 on each side.
Yeah, I think so.
But dude, they're all sick. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, I ordered it and it came within a couple days. He texted, he's like, "Oh, I think the tracking number was fucked up." So he texted me my actual tracking number, and before I even checked it, it got to your house. Like, "Oh, you got a package." I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I didn't even. It wasn't even enough time for me to be like, "Where's my fucking shirt?" And I'm like, "Track it." So, yeah, shout out to Eric, dude. Good fucking job on this. Fucking sick. I remember when he posted, like, he was just doodling this. I was like, fuck, dude, make that. Like, as soon as he posted it, I fucking bought one. But yeah, those are fucking awesome. So, moving on to other non-geopolitical things. Sorry about that, guys.
We have no idea what happened. It just maybe it's the freedom talking.
Yeah, we're having kind of a shining fucking thing with a shinning. Sorry, I don't want to get sued. But let's talk about the Whittier, the Uptown Flea. Uptown Flea.
Uptown. I mean, I went. It took.
We're either gonna add subscribers or lose a lot after that whole fucking rant.
Please don't unsubscribe if you made it this far.
Pinko commie bastards. Loving America. That's why we talk shit.
We're gonna have to put like a disclaimer in the beginning.
Yeah. I apologize to all the Hell Yeah brothers.
Yeah, Uptown Flea. It was at Whittier High School. It was cool. It's nothing compared. Like, I don't go to a lot of flea markets. I want to, but it's hot. Got a bunch of kids that don't want to be out in the sun all day.
Yeah.
So I went in expecting it to be like Punk and Junk, but Punk and Junk is just something totally different. It's more kind of like my scene type of stuff. The Uptown Flea was like a giant thrift store. Everybody selling clothes and stuff. Mm. There's a few like specialty shops where they're selling cups, tumblers, all that stuff. Nothing really a bunch of soaps, different soap vendors and food vendors.
Soap vendors.
Yeah.
Was there bands there?
No. Yeah, I mean it was a little small, so we kind of like went through each one within the first like 20 minutes. And then I got my daughter some like these mini, they call them mini cakes or like little pancakes. And then I got just like a drink, like a watermelon drink, like a jugo. Oh, no.
Aguas frescas?
Aguas frescas, yeah. Same difference. Aguas frescas! That was pretty good. But yeah, we just went through it really quick.
Pretty sick. I'm kind of glad. Oh, pretty sick. I was sick.
Yeah.
I haven't really been sick since probably November 2019, because then the pandemic happened. Nobody was fucking touching each other. We were fucking, and then masks and all this shit. And then I got sick that was that time your kids got sick, and then I was like, oh, that means you're gonna get sick, and then I'm gonna get sick, and then everybody. But it was kind of the same thing where it's like that time and this time I'll be sick for like 2 days and then it's just gone. But I had a headache for like 3 days. It started with a headache, and I was like, fuck, like pressure in my head. And then day 2, I started coughing, and then by day 3, I started feeling a little better. Sorry for boring you. No, it is. We did start early today because it's the 4th of July. This guy's got to get home and stuff. So we started at fucking 8 o'clock this morning, and I was up at 6 to work out before, so I can actually be awake for this.
And then I'm trying to stick to our work schedule still during the week at least, and that didn't work out. I went to bed like at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
I was up at 5:30, I think I said.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, we're not playing Bean Boozle, so I'm going to talk about the last pod. I don't know why I was on YouTube, probably fucking looking for ASMR to fall asleep, because I was like, fuck, it's almost 1. Like, I got to fucking fall asleep now. So I was going to pull up some ASMR to fucking just knock me out. And I just got stuck watching our last episode. Because it had been a while since I listened to one of our podcasts. Like, we put it out and then fucking work, and then next thing you know, we're recording the next one. And I've kind of fallen behind. So so those of you that are like going back and listening to them and catching up, I feel you and thank you, appreciate it. Even if you don't like listen right away when we put them out, but
I'm all caught up.
That one, it just, like, doing this helps me realize that what's going on in my head isn't always reality. Because in my head, I was like fucking, like, just zoned out. Because it was Friday night, right?
Yeah.
So when we recorded, and we worked all day, then I came home, got a workout in, and I was just like fucking exhausted. Like, for some reason, like, Fridays are like the tip of the spear. If there's like a weight on me, it's like an upside down pyramid, and Fridays are just like I've told you about this. Like, Fridays are usually like I'll feel sick almost, like I can't eat, like I just fucking, like, the stress is kind of just all weighed down on Fridays. So in my head, I was like, you could tell I was tired. Like, I don't know if I said much. I didn't make the points I wanted to make. I was like just kind of distracted. And then I watched it. I was like, was this the episode where I felt that way? Like, it didn't, like, it just seemed like a fucking regular episode. But I was like, it's kind of weird that it just goes back into what you're going through your mental health crisis. Like, it's your brain just fucking with you. And it fucking watching it was like watching it and knowing what I was thinking while I was watching the episode. It was pretty fucking eye-opening. It's just like cracking my head open and being able to see it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's there it is. I can say it. It's helpful to do this, among other things, among being fun and stuff like that. But I did listen, and there was one point where I was, I was making a point about the lab grown meat. And I remember this was like when I was like getting distracted, and I started making a point, and then I got distracted, and then I never fucking went back to making the point about the lab grown meat. And what I was talking about was how a lot of people were upset about, like, oh, fucking pulling the wool over our eyes with the submarine stuff, and they passed this thing with lab grown meat. But there were, like, for us, like, cool, there's gonna be, for us, I mean, like, for veggies, like, or animal rights activists. Sorry for boring you with this.
Shut up, dude.
Just drink your coffee. Oh, damn, you almost finished your coffee.
Yeah.
Like, being able to do something like that where it's sustainable. We talked more about it on the Walking Blind pod, but they basically put fucking not skins, yeah, living cells, animal cells into a fucking cell soup, and they fucking just, like, get the nutrients that they need to splice, and it creates this goop, and then they shape it into meat. But for us, like, okay, so no more. They just extract the cells and then they can just fucking. I don't know how many times they're going to extract the cells, but either way, it's got to reduce the amount of animals being slaughtered, the amount of land being used for those. Damn, we're fucking getting back. And just a lot of the shit. But I do understand, like, there are a lot of people who are fucking kind of upset about that. But also, it brought me back to when Cracker Barrel, fucking, they included, I think they added like an Impossible or Beyond sausage, and people got mad about that. Cracker Barrel people got mad just because there was an option for vegetarians.
Didn't the same thing, like, I think Chick-fil-A like just mentioned like, hey, we might bring like a vegan option to our menu, and people went fucking nuts.
It's just a fucking option. They're not making you fucking eat it because somebody else has an opportunity to eat something there. And it makes sense for them. Like, who's not eating here? Oh, these fucking a couple million people aren't eating here. Let's get them in here. Why?
Just not on Sundays.
Just that's the Lord's Day. that's the Sabbath. Reminds you of,
it's not the Sabbath. The Sabbath is actually Saturday.
Right? Yeah. I remember when I was working at I don't know if I told this story on the pod before, but when I was working at Johnny Thompson's, the music store, I was working with my buddy Alex Guitar. He asked us, he's like, "Oh, can you guys come in on Sunday?" And then Alex, like, he had like tattoos, like a fucking long ass hair, and he turns, "But Johnny, that's the Sabbath." I was just fucking dying. Like, right in front of me, he was like, just shaking his head. And then he walks away. And he said he like kept it completely straight faced until he walked away, and then he started laughing with me. But it's just like every time I hear the Sabbath, "But Johnny, that's the Sabbath." He's just like his hair back. Nice. Like a fucking Dio shirt on or something.
That's like a total classic, like 90s, like throwaway gag that everybody knows.
That's what it was, dude. The other one was park here for a minute. I just started working there. I was like, the busy season. It was when kids were coming in, kids with their parents were coming in to rent their musical instruments for the school year. So we're like all hands on deck. So me and him are fucking just running the register the whole time. Fucking somebody puts Bohemian Rhapsody on on the stereo in the store and the front. And so, yeah. So it comes on. He has long ass hair. And I remember the part comes on. I was like, he's not going to do it. I was new. He had already been there for a few months. And that part comes on. And he just starts fucking headbanging and his hair's whipping like a foot and a half in front of his face. And as he's ringing somebody up like a mom, and he's like handing her the change like that, but he's fucking headbanging. And I remember seeing the hair, and it was almost touching the end of it.
Oh shit!
And I was just like in shock. I looked at her and I looked at him, and she was looking at me like, what do I do? And then I was like, fuck it. So I had banging, and I just started laughing. But she looked so like scared and confused. Like, this guy's fucking nuts. Oh, I want to get him on. Dude. We have so many fucking stories of us doing stupid shit like that.
I could only imagine, because Johnny Thompson is like in the middle of like a predominantly Asian community. Mm-hmm. So I just imagine like some Asian lady.
Yeah, like Asian mom fucking just renting a violin for a kid. Yeah. just like, what is this music? What is this guy doing with his hair? Should I leave?
I'll come back tomorrow.
I'll come back when you guys are less busy doing hair stuff. So that was my point about Cracker Barrel. Yeah. Dude, that'd be fucking sick, though. A Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, a Beyond one. I'd fucking go.
But then they were only going to take it away like 3 weeks later, like fucking Panda did.
Panda. We tried one last time. You tried for me. It was like 2 weeks ago. We stopped for lunch, and you went into the Panda right there. And did the whole like walk out. You were looking around, and then walked out.
Bring it back, Panda.
Just bring it back. Do it for me. The Big Stir.
The big stir.
There's your fucking Simpsons reference for the day. Did we meet your quota?
We've had a few today.
I think it's the second or third one. If you guys can guess that reference from The Simpsons, what are we going to give them? Fight, we'll do a collab, dude. I'll buy you one of these shirts if you can guess that Simpsons reference. Send it to us on Instagram or YouTube. Comment down below, and I'll send you one of these from Eric's shop. I'll pay for it and send it to you.
Yeah, he'll pay for it.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
I don't even know the reference, so don't look at me for answers.
Like they can look at you from here. What are we running right now?
I don't know. I was just gonna ask you, got anything else? I got a whole list, baby.
I do. Got some gripes?
We've been griping this entire episode.
You're right. Should we just fucking ride this dragon?
I mean, you can see the time.
What is it?
1 hour and 16.
Should I go for it? No, but then we cut out for me to pull up that thing.
That wasn't like fucking. This is great radio, by the way. I'm not cutting any of this out.
Yeah, leave all this. So what should we buy for the microphone? Just like make plans for the pod right now.
This is what you
We've
guys
done
come
that
for.
like the last 3 episodes. Just like, what day works best for you? We're just fucking scheduling the podcast.
This is why we need HATElyn. She'll reel us back in.
I know. She's like, green, bring us out. All right, let me just fucking go into it, dude. With the whole fuck, man. All right, with the whole submarine thing, I just saw a lot of videos.
And wherever you are, thanks for listening.
Really, cut me off. This is what I'm talking about. Is a media misdirection. No, that's what I was gonna talk about. How fucking stupid people are fucking talking about media misdirections.
Well, I'm tired of talking about the submarine. So whenever you're listening to this, have a good morning, have a good evening, have a great afternoon.
Yeah. And one of them.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Happy 4th of July.